Hey friends, good afternoon. October 27, noon. And it's been a little bit since we've been together. It's good to see everybody. Over here at the Met. Spend a few minutes here just taking a look around, and then we'll head into Central Park. If you're joining, say hi in the chat. Let me know where you're watching from. It's a pretty beautiful early autumn day. 62 degrees Fahrenheit, so what is that? Like 15 Celsius-ish? Ambrose, good to see you. Been a second since we've been live. Hope you're doing well. Over here at 5th Avenue and 82nd Street, Museum Mile, right in front of the Met, where lots of people are getting their photos taken. My beautiful wife Lisa is here with the Mini Bagel, who has made his grand entrance. Big thanks to her and Grandma, whose presence enables me to get out for a little while. Big thank you to both of them. And big hello to Mini Bagel. Not only getting to hear our voices, but gets to watch along with us. So we're going to start to head into Central Park, where I think I previewed to you guys, I'm going to be posting an awful lot from Central Park as we enter the autumn months. It is so beautiful. We've pretty much entered the, golden phase. The leaves are starting to turn yellow. And there's a handful of red. But it's been a few days since we've been in the park. We've had different sorts of weather. So why don't we go in and see if we have a little more orange and red. But I told you, you're going to get tired of Central Park by the time I'm done with it. It's my favorite place to be, and this is one of the best times of the year where every time we go, even if we went the exact same path, it looks a little different. Ashley Mallory's here. Good morning. Good to see you. There's lots of filming going on over here. I don't know if you can see this. It's like a serious camera. Let's see if we can find the sign.
Can you do that further down, please?
Why?
Can you do that further down, please?
Why is that?
So you're not in the eye line of the actors, and it might distract them.
There's all these people here.
Well, they're waiting for the bus, and some of them are extras.
Okay, I'm gonna go wait for the bus. What are they filming?
Yeah, just pretend you're waiting for the
Yeah, what are they filming?
Succession.
Cool, thank you. Okay, we're filming Succession, so we'll try to be discreet, so we don't get in the eye line of the actors. British Grey is here, RJ's here, Chris is here. So as the gentleman said, they are filming the TV show Succession. And apparently having a camera is distracting. So I'm trying to be discreet now. But you could see they have really serious filming equipment. And that's a Maybach in front of us, super expensive car. Funny. Okay. I think it's very obnoxious when they say things like, you might distract them. They're filming on Fifth Avenue in New York. They can't figure out how to not be distracted. They haven't earned their paycheck for the day. Well, Chris, RJ, British Grey, hello. It's good to see you. We're here on Fifth Avenue. We were just by the Met, and we had to stop there for a second because they were filming Succession. We're going to enter Central Park. I was just saying, this is my favorite time of the year for Central Park, I think. Still a little warm, not too cold. The leaves are changing, the music is out. Of course, when it's snowing and beautiful and white, I'll tell you that's my favorite time of the year. Chris, exactly. That's why I found that a little obnoxious. It's because of my gigantic, iPhone on a DJI Gimbal, I guess. So distracting. I think it's because they don't really like being filmed, but you film in public in New York City, guess what? Guess what? Manny Explorers is here, good to see you. So we've just entered Central Park on the north side of 79th Street, over by Cedar Hill to our left and the Metropolitan Museum of Art on our right. I think we're gonna go straight today. I don't really have a plan yet. So we'll enter over here by the Met towards the obelisk. So I guess first stop, Cleopatra's Needle, otherwise known as the obelisk. And he says, beautiful day today in the city. It's an absolutely gorgeous day. It's just above 60 degrees. It was a little windy as I walked over, but as I enter the park, it's perfectly still. And the channel is gonna basically become like all Central Park. It's just so beautiful right now. The leaves are changing colors. Right now it's like golden and yellow. There will be hints of red, I think. We're gonna see if there's a little more. And part of the reason I'll be at Central Park so often is, one, I love it, and two, it's close to home. And gotta be a phone call away from Lisa. I see some red in the distance, which you may recognize from a recorded walk I did recently. And we're gonna see how much red we can find today. Just a beautiful day here. So I want to give, again, a big thank you to Lisa and Grandma, who are taking care of the little dude right now, so that I can get out, take you guys on a walk. I'm gonna go, I changed my mind, so we will come back to the obelisk. I wanna go to the Great Lawn for a second where we can get a kind of panorama. We're gonna get a lay of the land and what colors we're dealing with. It's a Thursday, just after noon, New York time, so that's why there's probably not as many people as you might imagine. It might be more like Friday, And I bet this weekend, lots and lots and lots of people, if it's nice out, lots of people will come out to do, take pictures of the trees. Joanne says having a cold snap feels like 48. Oof. Yeah, it's just above 60 here. And with the sun, it actually feels really nice. Oh wow, okay, so we're entering the Great Lawn, facing kind of northwest. And I just wanted to kind of come in and get a circle, little 360, so we could see what the leaves are doing. Amber says we were waiting for the sun to go on a walk. It was a long wait. So this is now facing south, Belvedere Castle. We'll get there eventually, I'm sure. And I'm just going to slowly kind of take us around. Just so we can see the different sorts of colors, mostly yellows. But I'm seeing pops of red, which is fun. It just gives us more reason to keep coming back. I always love, no matter when we come, there's always something different to see here. Joanne says Central Park never gets boring. Absolutely not. And it's a beautiful, clear day. There's really no clouds. Okay, so we're gonna go check out the obelisk, as promised. And then I think we'll head towards, we'll head west. 1954 Yankees is here. Good to see you. Thanks for hopping on. So the big news, of course, is the arrival of Mr. Mini Bagel. Made his entrance on October 12th in true New York City fashion. So I guess the last time I was with you guys live, as opposed to recorded, was at the Hispanic Day Parade. And towards the end there, I had to kind of hop off a little abruptly. Everything was okay, Lisa just wasn't feeling so great. She had not been feeling so great for a few days. And was just having a lot of trouble keeping food down. So anyways, I rushed home. We got her lots of Gatorade and all sorts of stuff, and she was doing all right. And then one day, I went downstairs to pick up a pizza we ordered. And when I got back up, she was saying, "Sean," and like a movie, TMI, her water had broke. So we rushed over to the hospital, although I think credit to both of us, but especially to Lisa, obviously. We were fairly calm.
Or consulting.
And then over the course of many, many, many hours, during which we did not sleep, even though it was very, very, very late at night, our little guy made his grand entrance. And ever since, we spent a few days in the hospital, and then we made it home, and we've just been, kind of building our routine. In true newborn fashion, he has mixed up day and night. So neither of us is getting adequate sleep. It's so funny how he could sleep so much, but because of, the constant getting up, we are not sleeping very much. Oh, and a big, big, big thank you to Joanne. Congratulations. Nothing like a new little baby in the family. Oh, we couldn't agree more. I mean, he's so cute. And even when he's, well, I guess I should say a couple of things. So first of all, he's so calm. We're so lucky about how calm he is. He'll cry, but he doesn't cry much, and he'll stop right away. Amber says drama queen. That's a good question, Chris. I haven't spoken to Lisa about how much whether we're saying or not, so I'll defer to her. For now, Mini Bagel. Again, big thank you, Joanne. It's so kind of you. But we've done a couple of pediatrician visits. He's eating, he's doing all of the things you want a baby to do. All the nurses. I mean, to us, well, okay, how should I say this? To Lisa, he was gigantic. And apparently he was big enough to be very notable to the nurses at the hospital. They all commented on how big he was. But I will say this, he came in a hair under 10 pounds. He did not make the 10-pound mark. Oh, Lisa gives the green light. He is Caleb. Green light provided just as we enter. I shared a picture of this, but it was a kind of rainy day. This is a much nicer day. 2.5 weeks early, 9 pounds, 8 ounces. Yeah, if you look up the name, it means things like wholehearted, faithful. And when you see him, he looks like a Caleb to me. But he's so calm, we're so lucky. You know, he'll cry a little bit, but he gets over things very quickly. Early on, they have to do all sorts of tests, and he was a real champ and trooper. A good boy, as they say. So we are currently walking north in between the Great Lawn to our left, the Met to our right. Kind of aimlessly today. We'll just hang out. We'll see the park. We'll see the red. We'll see the yellow. We'll see the orange. We'll see the green. Yeah, he's a happy little dude. We're just figuring out this whole waking up every hour and a half. Here's Alexander Hamilton. Gosh, it's a beautiful day here in the park. "1954 Yankees, first 2 months, sleep, eat, and poop." You said it. You said it. I mean, we didn't really know what we were getting into in many ways. The number of diapers. It's like comical how many he goes through. The best part is when you're changing, and how do I say this politely? He's not finished. Ambrose, have you seen Hamilton in person or on streaming or both? We're back by the Great Lawn, going around. I think we'll go around. We'll go through go by the pine trees, and then we'll head west. Leela's here. Welcome back. Sean, Lisa, and Mini Bagel. Hi, everyone. Delaware Rock, congratulations. Hope mommy and baby are happy and healthy. Yeah. Well, Lisa was a real champ. It was not easy towards the end, especially. I mean, it was never easy, but towards the end it was really difficult. And we were having this back and forth with the doctor because it sure seemed like he was kind of getting ready to come. And it turns out that was correct. And he arrived 2.5 weeks early, which I think Lisa was very happy about because just how difficult it was getting towards the end. She just couldn't eat. That was what was getting really problematic. Ambrose just on stream plus the statue. It's a pretty good statue. So this is south along the Great Lawn. That's Billionaires Row, 57th Street in the background. Perfectly clear skies today. This is like as clear as I've seen it in a while. We've had a lot of fog and rain recently. If you've seen some of my videos, I have one. Even today, I think I posted one where I crossed the park going over to Lincoln Center, and it was so foggy. It was really beautiful. Very dramatic looking. We're going to enter the Arthur Ross Pine Tum now. You can see the big pine cones hanging from the tree. Gigantic pine cones. You wouldn't want one of those to fall on your head. Oh, it's a good view, isn't it, with all the colors? Well, we'll see more as we go around. Lots and lots and lots to see today. This is the Arthur Ross Pine Tum. Everything, so we've had a little bit of rain recently, kind of a couple days of it, so everything should be looking exceptionally green. So another funny thing happened, which is, as I said, Grandma's here, and for a little bit Grandpa was here as well, and so one night they very, 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 very kindly, and Lisa, as nervous as can be, they watched the little guy, and Lisa and I went out for dinner. And halfway through dinner, my phone decided that it just wouldn't have data anymore. I could make phone calls, I could send texts, but I couldn't go to websites and, for example, couldn't stream. And so it took me a few days to get that resolved. So this is our first day back in many respects, but here we are. I do have to tell you though, so I've been watching the health app on my phone. Has changed. Your sleep has changed. Thank you for letting me know.
Yeah.
Victory's here. Hi everyone. How are the three of you? Hope everything is well. It's almost the end of the month and I'm kind of tired from the university life. Well, how's all the exams and everything going? We are doing well. Mr. Caleb made his grand arrival. He's at home on the couch watching with Mom, who is happy and healthy. And it's just a beautiful day here in Central Park. We've made it to the West Drive. And I think we'll just take the drive down for a bit, because I think it'll give us a good sense of the color. And then I'll know which areas to come back to. There's so many kids here in the park today. Wow, look at these trees. So we have orange, green, yellow, and red. Beautiful. And you can see all the leaves that are coming down. Gosh. This is so nice looking. Ambrose, exactly. Happy life. Cannot complain. He's really funny. Like I said, he's very calm. We're very lucky for that. I have been assured by the nurses, though, that we can expect that to change eventually. But for now, he's very calm. Just has day and night mixed up. But he eats a lot. Doesn't make things too difficult for us as far as, you know, having heard from other people and read. And he makes the cutest sounds. So we're at about 81st Street on the west side, give or take. Dorgrak says fall is his favorite season, except in Seattle. I've been to Seattle, I loved it. But it definitely gets very rainy and cold. But it's so beautiful there. But it's been, I don't know, it's been a long time since I've been to Seattle. Would love to go back one day. I've heard that there's a pretty big pizza scene in Seattle, but I'm just not sure of the names of things, but I'll have to look that up. So many people are taking selfies with the leaves. It's so funny. It's so beautiful today. It's really hard to, I hope it's coming across on the camera. Because I'm on the Upper East Side, I'm almost always walking south, which means I'm often walking into the sun here in New York, just where the angle of the sun is, which is like when you're, you know, taking photos or filming, you'd kind of prefer the sun to be behind you. So I'm always a little worried that things get kind of look a little silhouetted. But hopefully it's coming across. It's so beautiful. And what's funny is you can really tell it's still early. There's definitely a lot more color change to come. Much more to come. I'm gonna move the camera just so we don't inadvertently catch something we would prefer not to. Over here is the Swedish Cottage Marionette Theater. Behind it is Shakespeare Garden. But I think right now we're going to go towards the lake. Let's go towards the lake today. Hopefully everybody's okay. So if you were to go straight, you would go into the Ramble. We're going to make a right. The Ramble is the kind of wooded area in the middle of the park. This is part of the lake and Oak Bridge. Beautiful. Really beautiful here today. And you can hear all the leaves rustling under my feet. Gosh. If you're anywhere in New York, you got to make your way to Central Park. It is so nice today. And then I told Lisa, when it gets nicer, not nicer, what should I say, when the colors are coming out a little bit more, we will go to Prospect Park at some point. So stay tuned, lots to come. This is Oak Bridge, very picturesque, kind of fairy tale-like. Yeah, I think it was the right call to go towards the lake. Did you see those colors? So we'll make our way around the lake. We'll head over to Bow Bridge slowly. I see Rollo. I see Joanne again. Rollo's here, says hello. Joanne says, oh, that looks beautiful. Yeah, so that was, we were looking at the lake from Oak Bridge. One of my favorites. And we're going to work our way around the lake, eventually getting to Bow Bridge. There's just so much color everywhere. Screenshot Central today. So if you've seen the cover photo on my YouTube page, it's kind of looking in this direction at sort of peak autumn. Gonna go towards Ladies Pavilion now. I hear music in the distance. Ooh, and I see some really good colors coming up. Hold on. Stay tuned, folks. Stay tuned. Oh, wow. How's that for a view? Hey, John Matthews, good to see you. Visiting next year in May. Ooh, that'll be fun. All the rowboats are out. This is actually a perfect day for a rowboat. It's pretty sunny, so it's warmer than you think. Ah, the colors are so good. Okay, I'm gonna keep working our way around. Just get a view. God, it's one of those days where like everywhere you look, it's perfect. Like every single direction is stunning. Row, row, row your boat. I figured it would be pretty good, but with the perfectly clear skies today, even though there's still more color change to come, the leaves are so beautiful. That's the funny thing, imagining it could get even better than this. So we're going to work our way around the lake, head towards Bow Bridge, Cherry Hill.
Stepping through the door.
Name that tune. God. I feel very lucky to get to share this with you guys today. And it's always so funny to me. This is the day where everybody should get the afternoon off.
Over the stars.
Too beautiful.
Ah non, parce que lui c'est en vélo. Si c'était un cheval.
This particular tree is so good looking. So last time I was here, let's see, it wasn't that long. I mean, it was a few days ago, I guess, but it was very rainy, foggy, and some of the trees around the mall, kind of the northwest corner of the mall, were really starting to change colors. So we're gonna go check on those in a little bit as well. So we'll go around the lake. We will, of course, visit Bow Bridge, and then we will go to Bethesda Terrace and Fountain. Oh, check this. Everywhere. Everywhere we look. But we'll make our way eventually to the mall. God. I need to come back. I need to come back not with a video camera. I need to like come and just take pictures. Could fill an entire book. Speaking of, Lisa got me a book as a gift. She and Grandma went to the bookstore. There's Bow Bridge. We're headed in that direction. And she got me a book which is the history of, I think it was called Before Central Park. So kind of the history of what becomes Central Park, which is, as you can tell, kind of a pretty perfect gift for me. What's funny is the heaviest book I've ever picked up. Gregory Kelly's here. Santa Barbara checking in. Hey there, Sean, Lisa, and baby. Nice to see you back live. And we have the green light from Lisa. So Gregory, introducing you to Caleb. who is currently at home with mom and grandma, also known as Graham, holding down the fort.
They're so out of its element when they hit it outside.
And the Central Park barber, hard at work. One of the more charming sights here in New York, in Central Park. Oh gosh, I know I'm just repeating myself, but like every direction I look, the colors are so stunning. Oh, we'll be back this way, we'll be back. Do I spy a wedding?
They didn't like that, I guess.
What do I spy? Prince Isis here. And wow, let's see, 12:46, so 1:45 a.m. in Korea. We are, as always, honored by your presence at this time. It's a little hard to see, but the reason it caught my eye is it looks like they've blanketed the in rose petals. So we'll see, maybe we'll head in that direction. I think Ambrose is a fan of this statue, the falconer. One of my favorites. These hills over here to our right, during winter when it's snow, just are the best places for dog watching. We will, of course, be here to capture that when the time comes. Though the first really, really big one could be a ways off. I think last year, or rather, I think the first big snow of 2022 was like mid-January. Like the first snowstorm. So we will see, but we will be staying tuned. Amen is here. Hello, listening in the background, taking a look when I can. Well, thank you for being here. Walking through Central Park on this early autumn day with us. Beautiful marriage photography. And there's the rose petals I was mentioning. Gonna get our shoes wet for this, but we haven't done this in a while, and this is the scenic route. Maybe we'll get some good leaf ASMR. Ambrose says several years ago the first snowstorm was October 29. Ooh, so that would be coming up. That's a pretty nice view. Gregory says, when do I think Caleb will start joining the walk? So that's a good question. We've taken him on a couple of walks. primarily to the pediatrician. We're just very nervous, you know. There's nothing wrong or anything. We're just nervous parents that are still getting used to taking him out and about. And I guess I have to start thinking, if I do take him out, you know, and he needs something, all things that I'll learn. Beautiful bow bridge. This is not too shabby, huh? Uh-oh, we had a rowboat crash. Oh, God. The rowboats here, they always crack me up. Okay, this is pretty good. Leela says you will know when the time is right. Yeah, you know, it's kind of, we're easing our way into everything, just getting used to him. Prince Ice. A big New York City thank you. From YouTube uncle to Caleb. Oh, that's so kind of you, Prince Ice. Well, thank you. A big thank you. How good is this? Different parts of the park look beautiful at different times of the year, but I think for Bow Bridge, autumn is the time. The colors just, like, to me, we'll see the mall in a second, and I think it looks really nice right now, but I actually think the mall during winter, when it's like covered in snow, is particularly beautiful, but I think right now is the time for Bow Bridge. How cool is that? Gosh. I can't believe we just saw two rowboats run into each other. They're going like as slow as they could possibly be going. Oh, gosh. And Cherry Hill, which is the area surrounding us, obviously cherry blossom season is the time.
Tell me where it is, but no one. Right.
Oh oui, voilà, à mon avis, je t'appelle sûrement samedi.
Ambrose says, are we watching the Goldbergs? No, not yet, but there is another show that we've been meaning to watch on Apple TV. There's a cartoon called Central Park. And it's been on our list. We've had a lot going on. But we've been meaning to watch that. And I think Stanley Tucci is one of the voices in that. But I'll have to look into the Goldbergs as well. We've been watching a lot of Great British Baking Show, which, if you have a Roku, there's the Roku app, which has free videos, and they seem to have like all of the early seasons of it for free. You just have to watch ads every now and then, but you don't need a subscription or anything. I don't even think you need an account. Gosh, it looks so good here, doesn't it? Oh. Romance in the distance. and you can see the top of the Dakota over the tree line from our vantage point here on Bow Bridge. I love Bow Bridge, but the funny thing is it's often more fun to look at Bow Bridge than it is to take in the views from Bow Bridge. So we will continue to make our way around the lake and Cherry Hill, working our way towards Bethesda Terrace. I think Mr. Bowie already lost us our monetization today, so we will probably have some music and we'll just take it in. In fact, I'm starting to hear it already. Gregory Kelly says no soggy bottoms on the Great British Baking Show. Their favorite word is like stodgy. You never want your thing to be stodgy. Which I think I take to mean kind of dense. Like heavy and dense. But yeah, you don't want soggy bottoms either. Ooh, I hear a big band. Let's go check out the big band. Yeah, just shy of 10 pounds, which is what before, just by several days, the latest scan had him at 10. And if he had not been 2.5 weeks early, probably would have gotten up to 12, which was a scary thought indeed. Lots of photo shoots as well. Ambrose says, what's the record for the largest baby? That's a great question. I count, somebody said, was it Ambrose? Somebody said just past a bride and groom. Well, I'm like, there's so many. Poor guy has to lug a tuba around while others have flutes. Prince Ice, gotta look up the kilograms. Oh, they did tell us that as well, and I just blinked. Lisa probably can share that. But yeah, so the story was the 12 pound thing's not made up. He had grown 2 pounds in the 2 weeks prior. So there was a real possibility that had he made it all the way to the due date, that he would have been 12 pounds. But the thing with those scans is there's a big margin of error. So we didn't know if it was 10, if it was 8, if it was already 12. But it ended up being pretty spot on. They had estimated 10, he was 9 pounds, 8 ounces. But thankfully for Lisa, even though he arrived early, he was happy and healthy as can be, has passed all of his exams with flying colors so far, and Mom and Dad could not be happier. Low boathouse in the distance, which I've noticed has not been open lately, even though I thought there was the whole thing about them closing and then it was saved. But like today would be a perfect day for eating outside on the patio over there. So I don't know why they're closed. Or maybe they're open but only doing indoor, I don't know. It's too nice a day to be inside. Another bride and groom. There's brides and grooms as far as the eye can see. Suitcase is here. 4,300. 4.3, excuse me, 4 kilograms, 309 grams. That sounds about right. Gregory says, so happy for the new family. Ambrose says, it got confusing. A billionaire bought it, but won't open it or something like that. Yeah, I mean, that sounds about right. I thought it had been saved, and then the last couple of times I've been here, I've noticed it's been closed, even though the park was super busy. So I don't know what's happening. Okay, here's where we saw some leaves the other day. Let's go check out the color change. Joanne says, what would the world be without music? And they were pretty good and had kind of a Day of the Dead theme going on. I liked that. I think the name of the band was on one of the drummers' drums. If anybody saw it and wants to put it in the chat, they were pretty good. Joanne says, wow, that ceiling was so shiny and clean. Yeah, so those are the Minton tiles, M-I-N-T-O-N. The Minton tiles at the Bethesda Arcade, which is a great spot for music. And as you can see, lots of people do photographs there. There was a model, and there were, you'd see lots of engagement in wedding photos there. But the Minton tiles themselves are really, really beautiful. Back to the opera, huh? I'll have to read more about it later. It's just such a shame. Naumburg Bandshell. They do concerts here periodically, lots of events. As we enter the mall and the literary walk. And the sweet, sweet tones of Ralph Williams on the sax. A staple of Central Park here in the mall. Beautiful, beautiful music. Ah, Carol Woods is here as well. Congratulations, welcome back. Well, thank you. It's good to be back. Good to do a nice little live walk with everybody here in Central Park. My favorite place to be. And I can hardly describe what a beautiful day it is today. Ambrose says, I guess the city wants to own it and lease it rather than give up ownership. Okay, so the person wanted to buy it outright, and the city doesn't want to do that. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, I understand that. I don't think, it's a slippery slope with private ownership on something like Central Park. I'd be very hesitant myself towards that, as much as I want to see it open. Hopefully, they can figure something out. Oh, it's really beautiful with the leaves falling.
Plus, I think
Last couple times I was in the park, oh, there's filming everywhere too. Okay, last time I was in the park, last couple times, the Sheep Meadow was closed, so I think we're going to go there next. Women's Rights Pioneers Monument. Sojourner Truth, Susan B. Anthony, and Elizabeth Cady Stanton. Beautiful. So when you're in the direct sun, it's actually quite warm. And right now it's really beating down on me. I'm going to try to get a little shade. So we're going to walk towards Sheep Meadow, and then we'll get back on the drive, I think. One day, soon, I'll do another walk of the, I'll do a loop of the drive, which is, about 6 miles. And it's a, quick way of seeing the entire park. really quickly. Well, for me, quickly. And it'll give me a good indication of all of the colors throughout the park. And then I may do the perimeter of the park again soon because Fifth Avenue is really tree lined, especially on the east side, and the colors were looking really, really good. Yeah, Gregory, you're not the first to say that. The park looks good any time of the year. It's always changing, that's the best part. Indian Hunter here. The other thing that I'm looking forward to, I think some of you may have seen it, I did post a video of Conservatory Garden and Harlem Mere. And they needed to do it, so I understand it, but the video was kind of annoying because there was so much construction noise. One third of Conservatory Garden is being remodeled, and part of the northern section of the park, one of the big waterways, they're doing a huge amount of construction. The last couple times I was there was like jackhammering. Not as peaceful as you would want. So I'm trying to keep an eye on when that gets completed so we can do more from the north end of the park. I'm not ignoring it. It's just not very peaceful right now. So we've entered Sheep Meadow. For such a beautiful day, there's so few people here today. We'll go kind of in the middle and then I'll face south so we can get a good view of 57th Street. The sky is so clear today. This is a great picnicking spot, and you'll see lots of people playing catch. Okay, let's look south. Billionaires Row. Let's get 432 Park Avenue into the frame as well. And then as we make our way to the west side, I noticed this the other day. They're starting to put up the structures for the New York City Marathon. And Lisa has already told me when that is, but my brain right now is completely fried. I have no ability to retain information right now. So perhaps she could remind me. But yeah, I've noticed them starting to build the, we'll go to the north end so we can walk through it. But yeah, they're starting to put up like the seating and in the parking lot of Tavern on the Green, there's this big structure. We'll go check that out. Lisa says, first Sunday in November. Okay, so that's coming up pretty soon. First Sunday in November. Lisa did the New York City Marathon. And Graham, my mom and her mother-in-law came, and we did a little mini marathon all over New York City trying to find Lisa in different spots. It was a lot of fun. Really good memory, as you might imagine. And she got her medal. An impressive feat. Ambrose says 2 Sundays to go. Okay, so it's really coming up fast. I didn't film really or stream it last year, I don't think. No, I might have filmed a little bit of it, but at a certain point I had some friends running it, so I just took video of them as I could find them. Okay, I'm gonna try to figure out how to do this. Big traffic jams here. So you can see in the parking lot of Tavern on the Green, big structure. And then this would be like the VIP stands, I guess. Oh, and you can see the various, some of the signage that people will run through. This is quite a production, huh? Huge production. Christian Hansen's here, good to see you. Not a worry, Christian. Yeah, it's been a bit since we've done it, so I gotta work my way back into people's feeds. Leave a like, it'll help the algorithm. Yeah, we've been really focused on the recorded walks. I had a lot, as I say, in the bank, and then I did a couple of walks when Lisa and Graham were available to watch the little dude. And then I was explaining earlier, my cell data just disappeared. It was a whole saga. I mean, it literally took days to get that solved. But we're back. We're back in business. Caleb is here. Happy, healthy. Mom is recovering nicely. We're back in business, folks. It's good to be back. Gregory says the most active thing I do is jump to conclusions. Where is that from, the jump to conclusions, Matt? Office Space? Is that what I'm thinking of? Chris says Caleb is a lovely name. It was the product of quite a bit of healthy discussion and debate. And the funny thing is, we really did think, you know, and I called my parents and said, hey, this is happening 2 weeks early, 2.5 weeks early, which, you know, they then contact other family members, letting them know. And so we start getting these barrages of very lovely texts, but what's the name? What's the name? And we weren't ready yet. We didn't know. But we had an idea. And so it goes. Hopefully he'll like it. These are the Heckscher ball fields. This is kind of the children's area. Lots of places to play. There's playgrounds. I mean, there's playgrounds all over the park, but there's like a concentration of different things that kids can do over here, including the carousel. So I'm sure in our near future, this is an area we'll be spending time in. But we will explore all over the park, including the Central Park Zoo. I'm very excited to take Caleb to the zoo. The couple of times we've taken him out in the stroller, he's been so well behaved. It's like we're so lucky. Yeah, it means sort of wholehearted, faithful, things of that nature. But we hope it's, you know, something that he'll enjoy. Fingers crossed. Another one of the beautiful bridges here in Central Park. So we're basically at the far southwest corner of the park now. In other words, Columbus Circle. But we're just going to stay on the drive, and I think we'll start to head towards the pond, which is one of my favorite places in the park. And always looks very beautiful during autumn. But it still may be early. I think it's still early. It is early autumn. The colors are still changing. The big clock says 1:21 p.m., 63 degrees Fahrenheit. So we've been going for, about an hour and a half. As we round the corner here.
I hate driving. I thought you were gonna get. She was gonna shame you. I get shamed. I get shamed.
So lucky that you're scared. Yeah, I'm afraid. Basically, the nurses, I would be like, he's so calm, or, they would have to do like a blood draw to do a test, and he would, cry for a moment, but then become very peaceful again. And I was trying to understand, is that like foretelling his personality? And they're like, absolutely not. Give it a couple months. Wait till he has colic. These are the things that they said. I mean, I guess it's better that they were honest than leaving me in blissful ignorance. Vinny Castellano's here. Good to see you. We're back. We're getting the gang back together again. So beautiful here today in Central Park. There's a gentleman right now using one of those muscle relaxers, which I find to be kind of a funny thing to do in public. What do I know? Check out all the pigeons. Pigeon alert. I wouldn't want to stand underneath that. Of course, as I say this, I was looking at my jacket as I left the apartment, covered in remnants of baby spit up. And I guess it's happened so much now that I've given up. I'm trying to... There's only so much you can do. Ooh, really good orange colors over here. I would call this more rust than orange. Then he says, congrats to you, Mommy, and the new precious one. Yeah, our little Caleb arrived 2.5 weeks early, but happy and healthy, continuing to do well. he really makes the funniest movements. We're watching him start to, at first their eyes kind of just go all over the place, but he's starting to ever so slowly look a little more purposeful. And he makes the cutest sounds. It's a lot of fun. So we're all getting to know each other. We're going to start working our way east a little bit more. We're going to go, last time I was here, they took out the disco from the Woolman rink, and it looked like they were just beginning to do the, maybe put in the ice rink, or at least transition, begin the transition to that. So we're going to go check out Woolman rink and see what's going on there. And then we'll head over to the pond. Ooh, and when you get the sun lighting up the trees, gosh, beautiful. Just a perfect day to walk in the park. Cannot recommend this enough. Try to safely cross over. And we'll go check out Woolman Rink. Ooh, there's lots of people. Ooh, I think I see ice skaters. I think I see ice skaters. Yeah, Ambrose, I think you're right. I saw some people gliding. And I saw so many people looking at the rink, which is usually a good sign. Awesome. I was wondering. That means they really changed it over quickly. Very impressive. John says, sounds like this is your first kid. Yes, first kid. So everything we're doing is terrifying, nerve-wracking. I have to keep reminding myself and Lisa that somehow billions of people have done this before us, often in way more difficult circumstances, or with, whatever the case may be, more complications. So that I'm pretty sure we'll figure it out. But, getting that mindset is going to take us a moment. Christian said, this is pretty much where you learn to ice skate. Rockefeller Center, pretty tight space. Yeah, I agree. Rockefeller is always fun to look at, but I agree, it's very small. Well, lots of people getting their portraits done. Beautiful. This is really such a picturesque day. I just wish there were more people out enjoying it. Yes. I need the afternoon off. It's simply too beautiful to be inside. Yes, Fields is here. Good to see you. We are back. We are back in business. I don't know if you can see, but it looks a little bit like a puddle. Maybe it's too warm and too sunny. Looks awfully shiny to my eyes. Oh, that's funny. I like the thing that the kid is sitting on, being pushed. How do I get that? Love the pop country soundtrack. Yeah, it's a little different than the disco music of recent months. So I'd like to spend more time there, but the sun is bearing down directly on my face. So I need to, it's just getting impossible to see anything. So onwards we go to one of my all-time favorite spots, Gapstow Bridge, and the pond.
Let me get a couple more crabs. Go to my doctor's appointment.
Well, you have to get married because this dress isn't going to allow for a bump. So.
Best Field says, hope we're doing phenomenally well. Yeah, I think we're doing okay so far. We don't sleep. Caleb has his days and nights mixed up, which I gather is very normal. And even if he didn't, you know, gets up every 2 to 3 hours anyways. That's a whole thing. Not easy.
What's the difference?
But other than that, I was saying he's very calm, very well behaved. And mom and dad are utterly in love.
Да, и он причем он crazy, блядь, конкретно crazy, блядь. Если ты корова...
When was the last time you bought?
So this is one of my favorite spots, the pond. And we're going to work our way around in a second so that we can get a view of this that we're standing on, which is Gapstow Bridge. And then in the background, of course, we have Grand Army Plaza, the Plaza Hotel, Bergdorf Goodman, the Sherry Netherland Hotel, the Pierre, luxurious New York. Gail is here, Elma's here. Good to see you. Thanks for being with us as we take a little wander around Central Park, our first live stream in a little bit. So we're going to walk through the Hallett Nature Preserve, make our way around the pond, and go get a nice view of Gapstow Bridge. Gail says, such a gorgeous day. Yeah, it's perfect. This is like as good as it gets. So it's autumn and you have the colors. And it's 60 degrees, so even in the shade, it's not too cold. And in fact, it's so sunny and there's no clouds that when you're in the sun, it's actually warm. So it's kind of a beautiful day. And I keep saying it's early autumn, which means this is just the beginning of the color change. Much, much, much more to come. Beautiful views whichever direction we look in, but we're going to hang left. This is where we were about 10 minutes ago. We're going to hang a left here and walk our way around the pond.
Ouais, ouais. Mais bon, voilà. Bon, mais écoute, quand même, bonne nouvelle, ça sera pour mai, donc juin, quand je vais être à New York. Non, pour encore. Voilà, pour encore.
And I should also say, I got so many nice comments from everybody over the past couple weeks. You know, all the nice wishes. And we've just been completely, you know, overwhelmed. So I haven't responded to anybody yet, but just know how grateful we are. Christian says whole country has decent weather. Well, that's good to hear. There was a long stretch there with all the hurricanes and storms and so on. Everybody deserves a break. So here's the beginning of the pond. Looking really beautiful. I think we're going to get some pretty good colors around it. And sometimes when we're lucky, there can be some really nice bird watching over here. I'm not a bird expert by any means, but when we see something interesting, we certainly like to see it. Isn't that a nice view with the colors reflecting? Ooh, and it smells really good over here now.
I think they do something similar to you. So maybe they got.
So again, this is the pond at Central Park. Earlier we were at the lake. And the views of Bow Bridge were really special. Lots of color over there. Over here, because of the buildings around Central Park South, there's a lot more shade. And I wonder if that affects the color on the leaves. I mean, I assume it does, obviously. But what I mean is, I don't think they're changing over here as quickly as they did around the lake, where there's a lot of sun. So we may have to come back which of course we will, but we may have to come back a few more times before the pond is looking as colorful as the lake. Lisa says, everywhere you turn is like a postcard today. It's unbelievable. There's still, like I said, so much more to come. So I'm trying to find the ducks, and let's see if we can zoom in any more. How do I? Oh, let's try this. Yeah, there we go. And always a funny sight, the luxury picnic always cracks me up. Which at one point we learned starts at, I think, person, quickly can go up to 200 or more per person. Lisa, Caleb, a repurposed blanket and a pizza. And I'm happy to sell that at a very high markup and still undercut the luxury picnic company considerably. Get in touch for all your picnic needs. RJ coming in hot or coming in cold. Snowing outside the window. RJ, you're in Colorado, correct? Horgrok says that's expensive. Yeah, no, it's absurd. I mean, it looks fancy, but the idea of spending a couple $100s per person. So if that one's for 10 people, it might be somewhere between $1,000 and $2,000. You know? Whatever floats your boat. So there's a little bit of color over here. But like I was saying, I think it's just too shady, and so the color change is a little more pronounced in other parts of the park. It's still beautiful. You could still put it on a postcard, but I think, I don't know if it's maybe a couple more weeks or what. I think it's going to get even better. Okay, as we go around, you tell me. Would you say this is worth $1,000? $2,000? $500? Let me know. I'm also beginning to wonder. I think some of the time, I don't even know that those are actually for people. Like, I wonder if there's even a picnic that's going to happen or if that's just them advertising. Which would be especially funny if it was just really an advertisement. Ambrose says $25.99. I mean, that's probably what the materials cost. Lisa, coming in hot. Some trivia for us from a question from earlier. Heaviest birth on record was a boy born in 1879. He weighed 22 pounds. Oh my God. 22 pounds? Eey. Ambrose says, so close, so close. I mean, I'll tell you, the difference between 8 and 10 is a lot. The difference between 10 and 12 is a lot. I just feel like when Lisa found that stat, she probably grimaced. And Clinton is here. So happy to see you today. Hope your family's well with a big $25 donation. Well, Clinton, as always, you are far, 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 far too kind. It's good to be back. We are out and about. We're in one of my favorite parts of the park, which is the pond. And we're looking at the wildlife here, one of the most postcard-esque areas of the park. And if you're just joining, you will have to watch the replay or scroll back at some point because we started much farther north where there was, to my eyes at least, a lot more color. So we'll head back in that direction shortly because this is actually, I mean, I love this area and it's beautiful no matter what. It's very peaceful right now, but there's not as much color as some other parts. Leela says, that poor woman. Yeah, no kidding. Can you imagine? I can't imagine. But again, big thank you, Clinton. That's so kind of you, and it's really good to be back with you and all of our friends. So let's see, let me look at my watch. 1:47, so it's 1:47, so I'm gonna slowly make our way towards the zoo, where I might even get to sit for a few minutes, and we will check out the Delacorte clock ringing 2 p.m. How does that sound? And then we'll work our way towards Conservatory Water, which is where I think we'll call it a day. Let's go check out the zoo, which, oh boy, if you see the gentlemen dressed as monks who want to put a bracelet in your hand, just be aware that they will expect you to pay for that bracelet. And I just saw a gentleman accept the bracelet without probably realizing what was happening. So just be aware. Just be aware. Gregory Kelly with $10 for the Lisa Martini Fund. So, martini update. Lisa, do you want to share your big martini update? Amber says the mother was 7 feet 11 inches. I just can't imagine. Because even when you have like twins or triplets, right, don't they usually come in per baby lower than they would if they were a singlet? 22 pounds, I can't imagine. Cannot imagine. Entering the Central Park Zoo now. Was that not a joke? They really were 7 feet tall? Did anybody ever read or see those museums, Ripley's Believe It or Not? This feels like trivia from Ripley's Believe It or Not. I feel like if they're always next to a wax museum. We just walked by a gentleman filming. One of our favorite buildings, the Arsenal, one of the oldest buildings on the grounds of Central Park, home to the New York City Parks Department, and an art gallery, which I've mentioned 300 times and still have not gone into. On my list, on my list. We're gonna see the Sea Lion pool, which is always more fun when there's lots of people here because the sea lions like to perform. And in fact, I spy a sea lion. Check this out. They're always so much more active when there's people around the water. They really do remind me of dogs. They like to play.
Esqueci o nome. Não sei não, tem outro nome. Leão marinho, isso aí.
No final de semana eles ficam dando peixinho. Você veio aqui da última vez?
Ali, ele tá
nessa área não, saímos naquela foto.
Um negocinho. Um negocinho do lado aqui, então.
Oh, I love to look at them. So we've got a few minutes here. I think I'm going to take a seat and have some water. So bear with me. There will be some noise for a moment. And then we will hang tight. And in about 8 minutes, we will see the Delacorte clock chime the 2 p.m. hour. Water break. Joanne says, looks like a statue. Flying fish. He's saying, get on my good side. Well, Caleb is very funny because Caleb will say, no pictures. He'll cover himself up. So the funniest thing is often when, I often see a sea lion up there like that, and then it gets very funny when another one wants that space, and they'll kind of honk at each other. So since we have a few minutes, we'll kind of hang out with them, and we'll see if we get some interesting noises. As we wait for the Delacorte clock, I'm very hopeful that we'll get a new tune today. Ooh, check him out. Whoa. Oh no. They were trying to get a photo op. Yeah, they're so much more active when there's lots of people around. And you can see they gravitate towards the people, like they're all on that side now. Well, one day, Lisa and I will take Caleb to the zoo here. Esfield says, the one Caleb I know, one of my favorite people. Well, this is a good sign. This is a very good sign. Well, we're thrilled to have him. He came 2.5 weeks early, but healthy as can be thus far with his calm demeanor. And the only thing that's particularly difficult right now, but I understand this is pretty normal, is that he's got days and nights mixed up. So he sleeps so soundly during the day, and then at night he would love to hang out. And I was saying at the very beginning, I sleep with the watch that tracks, sleep and everything. And my phone keeps telling me during the day, there's been a change in your sleep. I'm like, yeah, no kidding. I've noticed that. The first day, we didn't sleep at all. So this was when he arrived. It was very movie-like, the whole situation. And I'll tell you, the last time we all talked, we were nearing go time. I think we knew that, but we really did think we had a couple more weeks. So, when the moment came, I think we were fairly calm. I definitely quickly had a glass of wine. Steady one's nerves. We finished packing as quickly as we could, and we took an Uber. I mean, it's such a New York thing. We took an Uber to the hospital, and then we had to wait. And then eventually, many, many hours later, I got to meet the little guy. And so did Lisa. It was quite the experience. And then you go to recovery and you wait. So I think that first day we might have been up for, I don't know, at least a day, but I think more than a day. And then from there, the first week, oof. Everything that happened, we're like, is this right? Are we doing this okay? Is this normal? Is this okay? Oh boy. S. Fields, he came in at 9 pounds, 8 ounces. Leela says she knew it was going to be soon, yeah. I mean, we could tell. I mean, we didn't know how soon, but we could tell it was all happening. Oh, 1:59. I'm going to start. So the clock here is like a minute or two behind, but I'm going to start making my way over to the clock and find a shady spot. Yeah, he came in at 9 pounds, 8 ounces, happy and healthy, 2.5 weeks early. All the nurses commenting on how big he was. In fact, in the delivery room, there was what seemed like a betting pool on his weight, which was pretty funny. Okay, I'd say we have about 1 or 2 minutes left, but we'll hang out here. So unfortunately, the last couple of times I've been to the clock, the animals have not been dancing, but it's always we never know. We always hope. Chris says, wow, 9 pounds, S. Fields, big boy. Yeah, he was a big one. I think we were saying, because we had all these scans beforehand, and the 2 weeks prior, he was 8 pounds and then 10 pounds. And so if we had to have waited 2 more weeks, it was entirely within the realm of possibility that he would be 12 pounds. And I think Lisa was ready to burst. Lisa was absolutely ready. So checking my watch says 2 p.m., but it looks like on the clock we still have at least 1 minute. So we will hang tight, folks. Ready and waiting for the Delacorte clock to chime 2 p.m. We are curious what our song will be today. And then Esfield says, don't they lose some weight the first couple weeks? Yeah, so that's the big thing now, is actually keeping his weight up. And because he's so sleepy during the day, it does take some work. Chris says my daughter was just 4 pounds, 12 ounces, also 2 weeks early, and I felt that was hard work. I mean, I think it's all hard work. I have newfound respect, admiration, impressed. It is nice having the little touches of color just behind the clock. Joanne says, some babies came to hear the clock. Yep, yep. And more will come once it starts. It attracts lots of attention. So the clock just turned over to 2, so any time now. Name that tune. I always love the Delacorte clock, but the last, I would say, 3 times I've been here, no dancing, no dancing animals. And there was a while, it had been fixed for a couple months, but before that it was also broken. So the clock, I guess, is reaching its, it's having some tough times, I guess. They're on strike. I always love this sign. Balloons are pretty, but dangerous to our animals. No balloons in the zoo. Yeah, very good music, but no dancing. And it's been a while, so I really hope it gets fixed. So why don't we go check out the Balto statue, and then we will make our way over to my favorite spot, my other favorite spot. I have so many favorite spots. One of my favorite spots. Conservatory Water, AKA the model sailboat pond. Oh. Black squirrel alert. Beautiful. And over here is one of the native flora gardens. So let's go see Balto, see how he's doing. So beautiful right now. It's probably 64 degrees Fahrenheit. Beautiful, sunny, clear afternoon. Bleeding Gums Murphy, exactly. Some of my favorite episodes involve Bleeding Gums Murphy. There's Balto.
Just put your other feet up. Get down. Get off. We're doing it all wrong. You put this on top. Put this foot up, and then you just put it on. Like that.
That's cute. She's teaching her brother how to climb on top of Balto. How cute. So we're going to take these trails north now. I wonder, hearing a lot of construction noise up ahead, I wonder what that is. So we're going to make our way over to Pilgrim Hill and Conservatory Water, otherwise known as the Model Sailboat Pond, and it's such a beautiful day. I'm really hopeful. We've been lucking out in many ways. I'm hopeful we may even see a sailboat today. That would be fun. Wouldn't that be nice? Let's go find out. Maybe they're doing tree work. There was a lot of rain, so maybe there were some broken branches or something. And if you want to see more from Central Park, I have a number of videos of recorded walks around Central Park. One from, I think I posted actually this morning. I didn't mean to do twice in one day, but I think the one from this morning, it was a foggy day. And I walked from Fifth Avenue to Lincoln Center. So some of the same sights, but very different in the fog and the rain. And then I have a very long video, like a 2.5-hour video from probably last week. Maybe it was last Friday or something. Friday or Saturday, I don't know. So if you would prefer the sights without the commentary, check that one out. But we're going to come back quite frequently. I was saying earlier, one, it's very convenient for me so that I'm not too far from home. And two, because we want to keep watching the colors change every day. So certainly let me know in the comments or chat if there's particular sites you want me to seek out. I will do my best. But we're going to get lots of autumn views of Central Park. And then when I'm able to, with Lisa's permission, one of these days I will try to get to Prospect Park in Brooklyn, where I bet it's going to be also really beautiful. So when the time is right. Joanne says, was that 3 Blind Mice? I don't know if that was 3 Blind Mice. I'm not sure. I didn't recognize it, I don't think. But as I've said, my brain right now is functioning on not a ton of sleep. So even things that might normally be obvious are not 100% clicking right now. Colleen is here. Always good to see you, Colleen. Thank you for hopping on. We are back, so we will endeavor to do more live streams and be more responsive. Again, a big thank you to everybody who left these incredibly generous comments over the last couple of weeks while we've been trying to build our new family routines. Though a lot of it is just going with the flow. So this is 72nd Street, which is a great place to enter the park, because if you make a left, you're to the zoo. If you make a right, you're at Conservatory Water. If you go straight, you're at Bethesda Fountain. So 72nd Street and 5th Avenue is an awesome place to enter the park. I also like 79th Street just because it's right by the Met. And there's lots of beautiful sights over there. You can't really go wrong. We're going to make our way down to Conservatory Water now. I'm hopeful that we might see a model sailboat, but they're not there that often these days, so we'll see, but fingers crossed. And if we don't see a model sailboat, we should see some ducks. Let's find out what is in store.
I need to work on it. We're working on it.
Looks like negative on the boat, positive on the ducks. What do they call that? The bike with tandem? Only one of those people was bicycling on the tandem bike. That doesn't seem fair. Colleen says, looks like a beautiful day in sky. Yeah, it is. If you're anywhere in the New York City area and you need an excuse to go outside, it is a beautiful day. Early autumn, so the colors are beginning to come in. It's mid-60 Fahrenheit. And perfectly clear sky. I don't even see a single cloud, so it's just beautiful. So this is conservatory water, otherwise known as the model sailboat pond. I do not see any model sailboats today, unfortunately. But I always tell people this is an amazing place to sit and relax. On our right here, on the 5th Avenue side, is a Le Pan. It's a good place for sandwiches, soup, etc. In fact, I may even have lunch here, a little late lunch. The line's not too bad. And it's an awesome spot for resting and people watching. Oftentimes there's music. Oh, and yet again we're seeing some filming taking place. We've seen a lot of filming. So at the very beginning of the stream we ran into them filming the TV show Succession. And then several times in the park we've seen some filming going on. So there's so much happening in the park today. And then on the west side of the water is the Hans Christian Andersen Monument, and on the north side of the water, which we're coming up to right now, is Alice in Wonderland. So you guys will have to tell me if you recognize what this is. I'm afraid I don't have a clue. I'll have to look up the filming permits later. Unless somebody recognizes. This is Alice in Wonderland. Oh, we'll have to get a picture with Caleb here. So we were at the Delacorte clock moments ago, and this is Alice in Wonderland in memory of my wife, Margarita Delacorte, who loved all children. So another Delacorte statue and gift to the park. We'll walk by the filming as we go over to the Hans Christian Andersen Monument. And again, if you have any idea what it is, let me know.
You know what the path is?
I'm not sure. Just a beautiful day here in the park. Hans Christian Andersen. It's so rare that he's not covered in people.
$8,000 outpatient limit.
We were talking about the Loeb boathouse earlier, that it seems to be closed, and there seems to be some uncertainty as to its status as an operating business. I'm gonna have to do some research on that later. But it's such a bummer. It's like such a beautiful day, and it's such a shame that people aren't on the terrace having a cocktail. Oh well. New York is a city of change.
Big area.
We're gonna start making our way north again.
Like if I decide to.
Thankfully, that would be a shame if that was closed too, but it's so weird about the restaurant. Oh, here it is. The Loeb Central Park Boathouse Cafe Restaurant Rowboats will be closed until further notice. Well, that answers that question, so at least we know for sure that it's closed. And they've also padlocked the restrooms, but we just don't know what the story is. Gosh, that's really a shame. That's a really big shame. Okay, we will make our way north now. We're on the East Drive. I said earlier, I'll probably do a recorded walk of the drives and the perimeter of Central Park soon. Another great way to see the colors change. And one day soon, Lisa and I will take our little guy on his first walk in the park. That's an exciting thing to look forward to. Amber says, glad I ate there this summer. You know, we'd been talking about it. You know, there was the rumor that it was going to close, and then in theory it was saved. But the rumors, I guess, were not true. What a bummer. Ooh, and other news that I'm very excited about. They're going to expand the Open Streets program for Halloween. Open Streets is where they pedestrianize certain streets. And so for 4 hours, I mean, obviously I wish they did more, and I wish they did more hours, and blah, 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 blah. But on Halloween, they're gonna massively expand it from like 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. so kids can safely trick or treat. And there was a very funny article in the local, I think it was the local NBC outlet. And they were talking about all these people who went to the announcement to boo. Because to them, parking their car on the street, the car sitting there doing nothing productive, is worth more than kids safely trick-or-treating for one evening in New York City. One of my favorite little hidden sites. Spot the statue. People just walk right by it. Because if you're walking south, it's kind of a little hidden behind some of the leaves. And it's dark, so it's hard to see. I always love that little statue. But yes, it'll be nice to see the city transform itself a little bit on Halloween so that kids can safely get out and about. I'd love to go down to the Halloween parade in Greenwich Village, but as I'm sure you can all imagine, our schedule right now is very precarious and entirely at the discretion of Lisa. Since if I'm out, that means she's watching Caleb. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Ooh, check out, we got some nice color over here. Again, we're still in the early autumn, so it's more yellow than red. But really beautiful. Really beautiful. Cedar Hill to our right, Belvedere Castle to our left. And if I remember correctly, let's see the time, 2:30. Okay, still have time. So I did promise Belvedere Castle earlier, so we might as well. We're gonna go the back way. Yeah, Ambrose, it's good that you got one last meal in there. What a shame. I really think it's dumb that they can't figure this out. There must be so many restaurateurs who would be happy to take it over. But I also understand that it's probably a really difficult, very hard to predict business in terms of when people come. Ay, ay, ay. As we make our way over to Belvedere Castle, the water to our right is Turtle Pond, which is a beautiful area, but unfortunately, over the last few weeks has been the site of, they discovered two bodies, two humans in the water, and I've yet to read any explanation as to what happened. Because it seems hard to believe that this is not one of the most surveilled areas of the park. But kind of gruesome. Ugh, sorry to share that, but if you Googled Turtle Pond Central Park, it's the first thing that'll come up. Up ahead, Belvedere Castle. We'll try to get some good shots. Everybody's filming the leaves. Ambrose says turtle attack. Layla's here, very late to the stream, but it sounds like baby's arrived. Congratulations to you guys. Yes, Caleb has made it. 2.5 weeks early, 9 pounds, 8 ounces. His mama is very pleased that he's here and made it earlier so that he did not continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. But happy, healthy, mom is recovering well. And Graham is here with us. So thanks to both of them for letting me get out of the apartment for a little while. Hang out with you guys. Spend an afternoon here in Central Park. That was funny, that family was having an afternoon snack of bagels and a schmear. And here we are at Belvedere Castle. me first show you a little panorama of the castle, and then we'll go get some views of apparently quite dangerous Turtle Lake, or Turtle Pond rather. So glad mom and baby are healthy. That's such relief. I know. It was, towards the end there, it was getting a little, you know, I feel like we talked about this. Lisa was really struggling to eat, especially at the very end. And so the thought of maybe 2 more weeks was a little rough. But it seems in retrospect that our little guy was letting us know that he was ready. And thankfully, that has proven to be the case. Yeah, let me get you some different angles. So I'm down on kind of a little lookout point. And you can go inside, and there's different areas where you can look, but sort of like Bow Bridge, like I was saying earlier, it's often the view, you want to look at the thing, not from the thing. So I like this little, there's this little lookout point right here. So this is Turtle Pond. Like I was saying, if you want to Google it, it's been in the news recently in unfortunate ways, but it's so beautiful over here, and it's a great spot to see the Great Lawn and the trees around the Great Lawn, which are starting to change color. And then on this side is the Delacorte Theater, so yet another Delacorte example. We keep talking about the name Delacorte. We saw the Delacorte clock, and we saw the Alice in Wonderland statue brought to us by the Delacortes. And now the Delacorte Theater. If you're here in the late afternoon, this is also a great spot for catching the sunset. If you look west, you'll see the sky turn a really lovely red or pink on a great sunset day. Let's see if we can get some good views of these ducks. So peaceful. So last time we were in the park, so I am at battery check 11%, so we're coming to the end of the stream. Last time I was in the park, we were talking about how the old Croton Reservoir, John Matthews heading out. See you next time, going to sleep, work 3rd shift. Well, John, thank you for being here. Thank you for all the warm wishes. Have a good sleep. Best of luck at work. We will indeed see you next time. Thank you for being here. Last time we streamed from Central Park, I think we were talking about the old Croton Reservoir, and I think that there's supposed to be remnants of it, if I remember correctly, on the north end of the Great Lawn somewhere. So if the battery will permit, we're going to push our luck as always. I'm going to try to hustle over to the north end of the Great Lawn and see if we can, there's supposed to be like these big, what would you call it, like stone bricks, I guess. We're going to see what we can find. And that's where we'll call it a day, unless the battery dies before we get there, which is entirely possible. Amber says, remember, 7% equals 1%. So we do have an update. This is a new phone. So I was saying earlier, the data stopped working, which I was 99% sure was a T-Mobile problem and not the phone problem, but it seemed like a good excuse to take advantage of Apple's current trade-in offers. So we did upgrade our phone, which, if you have noticed, is probably why the zoom looks a little better. But I don't know for sure that 7% is still 1%. We will find out. It probably is, with my luck, but we will find out. I'm going to walk as quickly as I can and try to hustle us to the north side of the Great Lawn. Lisa says exactly. Thankfully, the way the phone broke, though, I was still able to get phone calls. And I don't know if anybody, if you know this or not, at least in the United States, even if your phone does not have a working SIM card or any SIM card whatsoever, phones are required to be able to make emergency calls. So if you have a phone, even if you don't have service, meaning even if you don't have an account with a phone company, you can at least make emergency calls. So there's that, but at least I could get phone calls. So if Lisa needed me, if I ran out, she could reach me. But I gotta tell you, in the year of our Lord 2022, not having data when basically everything you use uses data was a real pain. 72 hours. And I was afraid, you know, when something takes multiple days to fix, you're like, how bad is this problem? Scott says, that guy, hey, hello Scott, good to see you. Says that guy looked like the minstrels from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Exactly, yeah, he sits there all the, I've now seen him maybe 3 or 4 times. He hangs out by the Delacorte Theater where they do, you know, Shakespeare in the Park and stuff. And if I remember his sign correctly, it's something like, you know, the Bard of Central Park or something like that. I need to learn more about him. So we're trying to make our way to the north end of the Great Lawn. I think it's actually must be even farther. And we're looking to see any remnants of the old reservoir. Battery check 8%, so the phone may die at any moment. If I disappear, it is because I pushed my luck. Brave Sir Robin. One of my favorite movies, Robin Hood Men in Tights. Mel Brooks. Battery check 7%. It's so funny when you get to the end, it just drops precipitously. So I'm going to say my goodbyes because it probably will die. Big thanks to everybody for being here. We had a number of donations today, and I couldn't be more grateful. Neither can Lisa. And now Caleb, our little dude. So a big thank you to everybody for being here, all of our friends. We always love spending this time with you guys. And, you know, schedules permitting, and as we get more and more comfortable and figure out this whole human being thing, hopefully there will be more of these in the near future.
And that was only a month.
So big thanks to everybody for being with us. Thank you for exploring Central Park with me. and much more to come soon. Anthony says, everybody have a good day. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging. Ooh, I feel like I see what I'm looking for. Let's go. We're going to turn right. Can I? 6%. Really pushing my luck. Colleen says, thank you. Bye. Stay safe. Everyone take care. Joanne, bye everyone. Sean, Lisa, Caleb, and Grandma. Laytha, welcome to the world, little Caleb. Oh, it's so nice of you all. We feel the love. Scott Briggs, he bravely ran away. That is a movie full of good one-liners. All right, well, I'll do more research about the reservoir. In the meantime, big New York City thank you to everybody. I'll leave you with this view. We're at 5%. We've pushed our luck far enough. Big thanks, everybody. Have a great day wherever you are. See you again soon.